Okay, we're getting toward the end of the period today. We have about 10 minutes left, 10, 12 minutes. And I'm just showing the example of a type 2 problem. And I underlined the different things that I know are going to be in my skeleton equation. And we're going to go from there. The find here is what? What are we supposed to find? Mass. Oh, mass, not moles. Mass. Ooh. Mass. How many grams of sodium chloride? Okay. As we do this guy, we're going to do pretty much what we did before. We have to have an equation. And because they're talking about produced wind, chlorine reacts with sodium. Sodium will be a solid. We'll put an S there. And that means there's not going to be any subscript. Instead of subscript, we're just going to put the S down there. And this guy is also going to be a solid. So I'm just going to copy this over. Copy V here. Okay, so I've got it set there. Who thinks they can balance it? Go for it. Okay, let's take it in order though. I have 2 chlorines right here. So I want to go over here, look at this guy, and I know I'm going to need a coefficient of 2. And because I have this 2 here, I'm going to need 2 of these back over here. Okay? And just like Derek said, 1, 2, 2. So I'm glad they're giving us a nice simple formula here, or a nice simple reaction type. And now we can look at the given and the find and put our mole ratio together for our calculation. So we've got in the given the chlorine. So chlorine's where I'm going to start, and we're going to sodium chloride. We're going to make a mole ratio now, and this mole ratio is going to be Cl2 to NaCl, and the Cl2 has a coefficient of 1, the NaCl has a coefficient of 2. So it's a 1 to 2 relationship. Now all we have to do is come up with our calculation. We've still got to go moles to moles, so let's get that started. We start out with what? 1.25 moles of Cl2 over 1. And then next, we're going to have moles of Cl2 on top, so what has to be on the bottom of our mole-mole ratio? What has to be on the bottom? Judith, what do you say? Yes, 1 mole Cl2, because that's the mole ratio. And on top we'll have 2 moles NaCl. Okay, now we're not done. Now we tack on moles to grams, because this stuff cancels, and we need the molar mass for sodium chloride. Would someone give me a better number than 58? It's about 58. 58.5? Thank you. So we want to put 1 mole on the bottom of sodium chloride. On the top, the 58.5, which is off the periodic table. That's grams of sodium chloride. That equals 1 mole of sodium chloride. That's it. Calculation is still on the simple side. In this particular calculation, we do not need to worry about dividing. Yeah, so we can just multiply straight across the top. Does someone have a number? 145? That's a reasonable number for the two things that we're multiplying, or three. Oh wait, there's three things. 1.25 becomes 2.50. Yeah, about 145. And that's going to be grams because moles is all canceled out. So we have 145 grams of NaCl. And we have completed that problem. Okay? Not too bad, huh? All right, let's go to our first homework problem. So now you have 3 problems on your homework paper, right? 2 examples. This is the second of the examples. And then we have one more, which will be the homework problem. Whoops, what did I do? See? There. Okay. Here. There we are. Okay, so we're on page 360, correct? We're doing titanium. Oh, and they're going to give you the balanced equation. How nice of them. Okay, so we're page 360. And we're doing number 11. So we got given. Fine. Okay, remember we're going to be doing the same thing we did in that example. So we've got a balanced equation, so we don't have to worry about that. And what's the given? What's the given? Titanium oxide, right? TiO2, 1.25 moles. TiO2. And what are we supposed to find? Okay, mass. Okay, what mass of Cl2 is needed? Could we Joseph, could you close the other door, please? Sure. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to have to use this balanced equation that we have in the book. Or did they balance it? Yes, they did. How nice. TiO2 plus carbon, and TiO2 is a solid, and carbon is a solid. And we got 2 chlorine, and the chlorine should be a gas, so Cl2, yes. And on the other side, we have TiCl4. And CO2. Now we got all that stuff on the right that we really don't need, except we've got to balance this silly equation. Oh, we don't have to balance it, do we? We do not have to balance. So now all we got to do is look at our mole ratio. Wow, that's pretty easy. So the given is TiO2. The find is Cl2. Oh, look at how nice this is. Oh, what a nice, easy problem. Oh, this is great. Makes life much easier. Okay, so these guys are all 1. But these are the only 2 things that we have to worry about. So this guy here is related to this guy here. And the relationship is 1 to 2. So I got TiO2 to Cl2, 2 of those, so it's a 1 to 2 relationship. Now we do our given over 1. 1.25 moles. Are you starting to see that there's a fairly regular way that these things go? Okay, our next guy is the mole ratio, and these are moles of TiO2. Let's get this out of here. There we go. And so now all we have to do is use our mole ratio. And TiO2 has to be on the bottom so that we cancel out the TiO2 up here. And this is also moles, and Ti has a coefficient of 1. TiO2, that is, has a coefficient of 1. Chlorine has a coefficient of 2, so it's 2 moles of Cl2. And boy, we're done. Done deal here. Whoops, I should not be canceling out. Yeah, all that got put together. Owie. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, we can go ahead and just run the numbers. This is really easy. You don't even need a calculator to do it. So we should be in good shape, and that's 2.50 moles of Cl2. Okay, so we're looking for grams, and I was going to end the problem, but you got to look right up here. It says very clearly we're finding grams, and so that's where the next step is. Because we're looking at problem type 2, we know that we're going for grams. This guy right here. So let's go on back, and that's how it's different from the last problem. So now we have to get the molar mass of Cl2. That's 35.5 twice, which is 71. So 71 should be our number for grams. And we have 1 mole of Cl2 is equal to 75. 75? 71. 71. 35.5 twice. 71.0 grams of Cl2. And now we run that through the calculator. So that's our final answer, 177.5 grams of Cl2. Now at this point in time, in class at least, we've done 4 problems. Here on the video, we got started a little later, so we didn't do all of them here, but they're all shown in the whiteboard file for today. So if you want to go back and look at them because you were absent, that's great. And you should be good to go for the classwork tomorrow, which is going to involve these problems. So make sure you understand what's been done here, and you'll be able to do the classwork tomorrow successfully. Thank you for watching. Fortunately, just before I sent this up to YouTube, I realized that I had written the problem number as 1. It's not. It's number 11. And so with that correction, everything is good.